All right, welcome back. Well, I went over my knapsack that I keep strapped to the end of my snowmobile. The other thing I have on the snowmobile, it's not this one, sometimes it is, but on the snowmobile I actually have a double bitted axe that I keep on the snowmobile itself. But this is another camp axe that I have. I don't particularly like it. I thought when I bought it, it would make an excellent camp axe. I've got better axes that I'm not impressed with this. I don't think I'm pushing this as a camp axe or a survival axe or anything like that. What I like about this axe is you can be brutal with it and not hurt it. As far as chopping down a tree or something like that, I think it's probably one of the worst axes that you can use to chop down a tree with. But enough of that. Here's my saddlebag that I talked about in the very first video about my snowmobile and what I keep in the saddlebag. This is just the way I took it off the snowmobile, with the exception of I took out my eyeglasses. I keep them in this pocket right here, so that I got to be able to see the camera. But this sits over the gas cap is right here. So this sits over the gas cap on my snowmobile and gives me a really nice set of saddlebags. But in this pocket here, I have a GPS. Garmin. I do like this GPS. The reason I carry a GPS on big lakes is if we get in a whiteout condition with snow, or even coming back at night. A lot of times I fish until 10, 11 o'clock at night. I do use the GPS to get myself back to the snowmobile trail that gets off the lake. These lakes are huge. And if you have a whiteout condition, you better have a plan B to get you to the other side. This is it. Also in there, I have a compass. I think these two things together are excellent in the woods. You take your numbers off this, match up with this, and ride all day long if you want. But this right here is an absolute must for me in the boat, as well as on the four-wheeler and the snowmobile. I use it for my deer hunting. It marks my deer hunting spots, my tree stands, my blinds, marks everything. I also use it when I call home to my wife, and I give her, we call it my address. Wherever I'm going to be for the day, I send her the coordinates for that spot. It's longitude and latitude. She knows to write it down, keep it. I usually text it to her, or I'll call her on the cell phone to where I'm going to be. And we call that my address. And if I don't show up for at least, I tell her 2 days. If I don't show up within 2 days, then she knows to call the game warden service here or the state police, somebody, and give them coordinates. And that's the last place that I was, or that's where she knows I am, whether it's a tree stand or whether I'm out in the boat. If I'm ice fishing, it's a spot on the lake. Like I said, we call it my address, and I send her my address, and she has that. She is my plan B if something was to go wrong out there and I couldn't get back out. Also in this pocket, who knows what's in here? I've been fishing all winter. I've got 2 spoons. I'm just taking it out as it was out on that I've used all winter. Some fishing hooks. Batteries for the GPS. The GPS takes 3 batteries. They're AA batteries. I have an extra set of batteries for the GPS. I have hand warmers. This right here is fatwood shavings. I take it back at the cabin and I'll make up a bunch of fatwood shavings. Then I put them into this medicine chest, this medicine bottle, and I've got a full bottle of shavings ready to go in case of an emergency out on the lake. I don't really like gloves like this, but they're soft. The reason these are in there, number one, they give you a pair of gloves real quick, but I also use them to store like my cell phone I'll put down in there, or I'll drop my GPS down in there. It gives it a really nice cushiony place to ride for the day on a snowmobile. This is the owner's manual for the snowmobile itself, so that if I have a breakdown on the ice, sometimes I can take care of it myself. Old pair of gloves, and like I said, the owner's manual won't go over all that. I think the only thing that was in here was glasses. Oh no, my glass case rides in this pocket here. But also I have a first aid kit. This is a roll of electrical black tape. To me, it is the best first aid kit you can have out in the woods. Number one, you can use it for a cut or something like that. What you do is you take a piece of your t-shirt. You usually got all kinds of cotton around you, t-shirt, and cut a piece of your t-shirt off. If it's a big cut, you can wrap it up with this duct tape, really handy. Keep it in your pocket if you need to warm it up. The other thing, if you have a breakdown on the snowmobile, sometimes you get a wire that chafes or something like that. And I'm mechanically inclined with these snowmobiles to a degree, and sometimes I can chase down my problem and fix it. So this is a twofold deal, but mainly it's in here because of a first aid kit. It's handy, it's indestructible, water won't hurt it, and I've always got a good set of Band-Aids. Usually what gets me, like you see here, cuts. Cuts. So this was from 2 days ago, cleaning a bunch of fish. You'll see the video. But anyways, you gotta watch it when you put it around your fingers, because it does have a tendency to shrink up. So, but you can, if you're really bleeding bad, you can really put some tension on it to get that bleeding to stop. But then you have to pay attention. You'll feel it. Your thumb will start going numb, or your fingers, and then you have to cut it off and put on another one a little bit looser once you have the bleeding stopped. But to me, electrical black tape, best first aid kit that I carry in my pack. It's actually the only first aid kit I carry. Another little pocket right here. Just a little zip-up pocket. In here, this is a ferro rod. It's not my favorite. I know I say that a lot, but this was a Christmas present. It works good. It's just I have better ferro rods. But what I do is I keep it in here because I know it's here. I know it works. It gives me another fire source that is located right on the snowmobile itself, all self-contained. I don't like it because it's big compared to the other stuff, and I keep one on my belt anyways. In here, I just added these this year. They're them storm-proof matches that you can buy at Walmart. They really do work. They burn fast, so for me, that's the only thing I don't like about them, is they do burn fast, and the stick breaks a little bit easy. But if you was in real dire strait and needed a fire, it's a pretty cheap match, and I really like the container. It's a large container, and you can buy extra matches to fill them up later on. But I bought this year because it's not a whole lot of money, and I knew it would ride good in my saddlebags to give me an extra fire source. Because when you tie into the saddlebags or you tie into your survival bag, that means you probably have gotten wet. You've either fallen through the ice, a beaver dam, a beaver bog, or you've fallen in a lake. So at that point, you probably are really truly building a survival fire. That's why I do have them stormproof matches with me, and I will leave the other stuff. Not that it couldn't be done, because I have done it, but sometimes you're at a point where you really need extra fire. And because I travel a lot alone, I gotta take a drink. Because I travel a lot alone, my wife likes me to be in touch with her as much as I can. So when I do have cell phone service, I do carry a cell phone with me. You shouldn't plan on the cell phone being your plan B, because up here cell phone service is spotty at best when you get up in northern Maine. But all this is right here is a battery. It's an extra battery that you can use to charge your cell phone. So if my cell phone was to go get a low battery on it, I've got probably 10 charges in this battery, as well as it is a flashlight. And this is just the cable to hook it to the cell phone for charging. Everybody that has cell phones have probably seen these. But this just gives me, when I'm out in the fish house until midnight, my wife likes that I can call home, or if need be, this right here guarantees that I will have a full charge on my cell phone all night. And also in there is another set of hand warmers. I don't use them often, but they're cheap to carry, and I do put them in a big set of mitts on the really windy, cold days of ice fishing. I'm not exactly sure what's in this pocket. Been a while. Okay, there's a fire kit in here. Pretty sure it's just, oh, it could be charred punk wood. Yeah. This is a case of charred punk wood. Just a piece of twine. Jute twine for starting fires. Like I said, these bags are always packed. They're always ready to go on a snowmobile. And they also fit on my four-wheelers. Especially this saddlebag. Down in this other pocket is the only thing in here is some binoculars. And the reason that those are in there is I do a lot of ice fishing, and when I ice fish I spread my traps out over at least 1/4 of a mile, so this helps me to be able to look at that last trap for ice fishing. That's why they're in there. And this pocket is also where I store my cell phone. So I believe that right there, and I took care of the axe. The other thing you see here is another pair of gloves. This is my heavy coat. This is about all I wear in the wintertime. This is always with me. It's just a Carhartt vest. If you watch my ice fishing video, this blanket that you see we're on, I have been carrying this blanket around ice fishing for 30 plus years, plus on my four-wheelers and all that. I tuck it down into the bottom of my big pack for ice fishing. It's always there. It's 100% wool. Not that I'm pushing 100% wool blankets. I'm going to do a video on some other stuff that I think is equally as good without having to spend all that money. This I had given to me 30 years ago, and it's just something that it's in all of my pictures, all of my ice fishing pictures for 30, probably closer to 35 years. So anyways, that's why I laid it out here on the table, because it is part of the gear that I do truck around with me. So this is going to wrap up my EDC, or everyday carry, however you want to spell it out. This is the everyday carry for my snowmobile, my four-wheeler, and my pickup truck or my boat. I don't carry the saddlebags in the boat, but I do throw in this big survival bag, goes into my boat, and I have always got what I need to spend the night comfortably. But I thank you and appreciate you following along on this video on what I think survival gear is on my trips. And I hope you pick something up from it, and maybe you'll add some of this gear to your survival pack. So I will see you on the next video, and you have a great day.